The hatred when they come poison our mind, what you not go quickly explain. This is British people. At that time, no media, nothing. So we just went along with all the lies they told us about the Igbos. Character assassinated the Igbos and they played propaganda about the Igbos.
This is actually what really happened at the time when the British saw that the cooperation and the unity among the eastern region is something that they cannot temper. So what they try to do, they try to divide their language. Is a tactic that have been happening right from ages. It also happened in the Bible. And the scripture said that the people, they were trying to build the Tower of Babel, and God scattered them by changing their language. The same strategy and tactics is what the British have used against the Igbos. This is an elderly woman. She's an Ijaw woman that is speaking. And according to what she said, she's schooled in Saple. And at that time, there was nothing like division. There was nothing like Ijaw. There was nothing like Igbo. There was nothing like anything. They were called all Igbos and the eastern region. And that is why that there are three major ethnic groups in Nigeria, which is the Yoruba, the Hausas, and the Igbos. But right now they saw that the Igbos are cooperating enough, so they decided to break them into pieces. That was a strategy, and they lied against the people that the Igbos are bad because they saw the strength in the Igbo man. They saw the things that the Igbo man can do. They saw the intelligence, they saw the creativity, and they saw the blessings of God and the hand of God upon the Igbo nation and upon the Igbo generations. And because of that, for them to be able to steal, for them to be able to have their way to take natural resources, they have to divide us. Right now, everyone is divided. And do you think that this division can stop? Just pay attention and listen to this woman to the very end.
When I was growing up, we always say we are Eastern region. That's what we say. We are Eastern region. I don't even know anything about Yoruba or Hausa or anything. Now Igbo, Eastern region. Yes. Now we know. On each market, now we go. When I was growing up, I schooled in Sapele, my secondary school, Zix Academy. Zix Academy. They don't change them now to Okotiebo Grammar School in Sapele. Zix Academy at that time, it's a school that was founded by Nnamdi Azikiwe and Okotiebo. Pa Festus Okotiebo. Now I found Zix Academy. That's where I was when the war broke out. The hatred when they come poison our mind, what you not go quickly explain. This is British people. At that time, no media, nothing. So we just went along with all the lies they told us about the Igbos. Character assassinated the Igbos and they played propaganda about the Igbos. You got what it was not here. So much that we hated the Igbos. Yes, so help me God. They made us, they poisoned us. When I talk, we say they poisoned us. I am saying that the British and the Colonials poisoned our mind against Igbo. And that's what is playing out.
I am so happy that many people have chosen to come out to say the truth about Nigeria, to say the truth about what they've experienced in Nigeria. I am happy that they've chosen not to continue with the lies that have been propagated about the Igbo people in Nigeria. It is obvious that many people now realize that Nigeria was never meant to be one. Nigeria was not created to be one. Nigeria was only created to be one for administrative purposes. In order to have easy access to Nigeria resources, in order to easily rule Nigeria, the British colonial masters divided the people along ethnic, religious, and tribal lines. And to date, Nigeria is currently being divided by the politicians that are ruling in Nigeria. They want Nigeria to remain divided so that they can continue looting our common heritage. One of the injustices that have been committed in Nigeria is the hate against the Igbo people. The hate against the Igbo people you are experiencing today, the Igbophobia you are seeing today, it didn't start in 2003 general election. It has been there from time immemorial. This hatred has not only perpetrated division, but it has stifled Nigerians' growth and development. The hatred towards the Igbo people led to the pogrom that was committed in the northern Nigeria. Rather than pacifying them that they were being killed senselessly, the federal government decided to unleash war on the Igbo people. For 3 years, the federal government fought the Igbo people on a standstill in a brutal war that claimed millions of lives of the Igbo people, destroying properties in Igbo land and equally balkanizing the Igbo territories. Before we go into the balkanization of the Igbo territories, let us look at why the Nigerian government hates Igbo people so much. One of the reasons why Nigeria hates Igbo people so much is the perceived dominance and competitiveness of the Igbo people. The Igbo people are often stereotyped as being overly ambitious, competitive, and economically dominant. This perception has fueled resentment among ethnic groups who view the Igbo as a threat to their own economic and political interests. You might have heard from some persons that Igbo people go to other states in Nigeria and they dominate that state, buying off their lands and properties. You saw what happened in Lagos during the 2023 general election. They were asking the Igbo people to leave Lagos if they were not going to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They perceived that the Igbo people were dominant. They perceived that the Igbo people want to take over the leadership structure in Lagos state. That was the reason why they were shouting that Yoruba land belongs to Yoruba people. What happened in Lagos in 2023 general election did not start today. It has been from time immemorial. When Nigeria got her independence, the Igbo tribe were the most successful tribe in Nigeria. They dominated the educational sector. They dominated the commerce sector. They dominated the administrative sector. They filled every sensitive part in this country, not because of tribalism or nepotism, but because of their discipline, excellence, and hard work. This dominance drew a lot of hatred and jealousy from other people in Nigeria. You can hear the elderly woman saying that they spray all manner of lies and propaganda against the Igbo people. They told Nigerians that the Igbo people will dominate Nigeria. The Igbo people will take over everything that has to do with Nigeria. That was how they poisoned the mind of Nigerians and told that the only way for you to conquer the Igbo people is to hate them, fight them, deny them political power. That is the reason till now you hardly see an Igbo man ascend to the highest level of politics in this country because of the hatred and jealousy they have for the Igbo people. From when Nigeria got her independence to date, that jealousy has continued to fuel the division, the hatred, the tribal fight we are having among the Igbo people and other tribes in this country. Another reason why Igbos are being hated is because they are being viewed as the dominant Christians in Nigeria. When you talk about Christianity, the first thing that comes to your mind is an Igbo person. Igbo people are the most dominant Christian believers in Nigeria. All this religious fight you're seeing in Nigeria, all this jihad you're seeing going on in Nigeria is a way to conquer the Igbo people. The Hausa Fulani oligarchs, they see the Igbo people as their only stumbling block in taking over Nigeria. So for them to take over Nigeria, they need to clear the Igbo people out of the way. The civil war was their only last option to destroy the Igbo people in Nigeria. But unfortunately for them, they could not destroy the Igbo people in that civil war. Before the commencement of that war, they believed that they would destroy Biafra in 3 months, but that war was fought for 3 years. They could not defeat the Biafran troops. The Nigerian government had to resort to economic and food blockade in order to morally weaken the Biafran troops. They went as far as killing unarmed Igbos during the war. Even when the Biafran government decided to surrender to the Nigerian government, they still carried out economic destruction against the Igbos. Every money belonging to an Igbo man in the bank was seized by the federal government. They only gave £20 to some Igbos to start life afresh. Properties being owned by the Igbo people from different parts of the country were confiscated by the federal government and the locals. The federal government did not end there. During the war, they balkanized the Igbo territories. What you have today as the South-South was not there before. South-South is a political creation. What we have before was the Eastern region, and this Eastern region was purely an Igbo-speaking dominated region. That is the reason why when you go to Rivers State, 80% of the communities in Rivers State are Igbo people. When you go to Delta State, you will have communities in Delta State that are Igbo-speaking community. When you go to Edo State, you will have communities in Edo State that are Igbo-speaking communities. Even in faraway Kogi State, you have communities in Kogi State that are Igbo-speaking communities. All these were done in order to completely bring the Igbo people on their knees. Former President Buhari called the Southeast a dot in the nation. Despite all of these atrocities being committed against the Igbo people are resilient. The Igbo people are strong-willed. They are determined. They refuse to be conquered. They refuse to go on their bended knees. They refuse to become slaves in Nigeria. The war against the Igbo people has continued. Propaganda is order of the day. They have been telling all manner of lies against the Igbo people. They are poisoning other tribes in Nigeria to hate the Igbo people. Look at what happened during the 2023 general election. A Yoruba man was contesting in Lagos State. Because he have an Igbo mother, he was being viewed as an Igbo man that want to take over a Yoruba land. Even people that are originally Igbos are being poisoned to hate the Igbo people. Look at the politically created South-South region, a region that was carved out from the Eastern region. Some parts in the South-South region have even joined the bandwagon of hating the Igbo people because of biasness, because of propaganda. But when you check every other tribe in this country, the only region that have the interest of the South-South at heart is the Igbo people. The Igbo people is looking after the South-South region. Look at what happened during the 2015 general election. Every other region came together to campaign against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. They drove Jonathan out of power because he's a Southerner. But bear you in mind, the people from other regions did not see him as a Southerner. They saw him as an Igbo person. They were wondering, how can an Igbo man rule Nigeria? That was the reason why they gang up against him. It was only the Southeast region that gave Jonathan 100% of their votes. It was only the Southeast region that stood behind Jonathan. It was only the Southeast region that defended Jonathan. That is why I'm laughing the people from the South-South region who call themselves Southerners, who call themselves the people from the Niger Delta. The people from the other part of this country do not view you as a Southerner. They don't view you as a Niger Deltan. They see you as an Igbo man. If there is any conflict between the Igbos and the other part of the country, you also will be affected. You also will be attacked. You will not be left out. Till date, you are still being viewed as an Igbo person. So I don't understand why you will not collectively come together and stand with your brothers. The only brother you have in this country are the Igbo people. And I wonder why some of you decide and choose to alienate yourself from the only people that care about you, from the only people that defend you. This elderly woman is aged and frail. She might be soon be gone, but she's passing the message to the younger generation. Don't alienate yourself from the Igbo people. Don't allow the biasness, the propaganda, the lies that have been told against the Igbo people to poison your mind. Look at the Igbo people as your brothers. Come together, unite. When you are united together with the Igbo people, you will be able to destroy your common enemy. And the only common enemy we have in this country are those against the development of Nigeria. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.